Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that is the weekly Helium 10 Buzz, where we get you familiar with the latest news in the Amazon and e-commerce space. We interview people in the industry you need to hear from and provide training tips of the week that will give you serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Let's see what's buzzing this week. We've got a lot of different news articles that range from talking about what's going on in Amazon India, to some inventory closures due to the hurricane that you might need to be aware about. And even now, Amazon may be taking a look at the invalid clicks that you might be getting from bad players out there, and what Amazon is doing to kind of show visibility on that. We're going to have a training tip of the week that can show you with just one click how you can analyze your main competitors' images. We've got an interview with somebody from our Serious Sellers Club, and we've also got some new training that we want to give you a preview about that is in Freedom Ticket. So let's go ahead and get first into the news. Now, the first article that we have today is actually about Amazon Live India, and it's pretty interesting because in the USA we have had Amazon Live for about 3 years now, but now it just launched Amazon Live Stream. It's kind of like QVC for those who don't know, in Amazon India. And right now they're already getting like about 600 views, for something that just started. I don't even think Amazon USA had like 600 views for all of their lives. And it expects to stream over 450 hours of content just in this opening sale that they have. This is following the Flipkart, which is owned by Walmart. They were offering a similar kind of functionality in Flipkart's marketplace. So, those of you who are selling in Amazon India, might be something you want to get in to be one of the very first to offer these live streams. We had a podcast earlier with Gracie, who does Amazon Lives in the United States, and talked about how successful it's been for some of her partners on there. So Amazon Live now in India, make sure to get on that. Next news is just from Seller Central. Hopefully you guys noticed this. You can get 50% off of Amazon Vine. All right. So normally it's actually $200, but over the next until October 31st, you can actually get 50% off. It's only going to be $100 for every parent ASIN. Now, for those of you who don't know, Amazon Vine is kind of like a great way for newer products to get some initial reviews, where Amazon will send the product to some of its reviewers, and you can, as long as you're under 30 reviews, you're going to be able to go ahead and use Amazon Vine. So if you've been holding off, I know people are complaining, but back in the day it was free for a certain time, and now it's $200. But I mean, how much money do you guys put on initial reviews? I mean, these are initial reviews for a newer product. We all know how valuable that is to a product's launch. So I highly recommend, if you have confidence in your product, which I hope you do, send these products into Vine, and it's now $100 off. Next article is from CNBC, and there are some warehouses that are being closed due to Hurricane Ian. So mainly it's shuttered sites in Tampa and Orlando, and they're going to be closed for a few days, before things got back to normal over there. So obviously, we have in mind the people who have been suffering in that area. Apart from Amazon, just lost their houses. Really, really sad to see everything that's going on. But if you're not living there still, if you're an Amazon seller, you might have service disrupted in that area. Now, maybe you're wondering, well, how do I know if I even had inventory in those locations? Well, one way is to use your Helium 10 inventory heat maps tool. All right, so like this here, I'm looking at, for those of you watching this on YouTube, I'm looking at all the different warehouses where we have coffin shelves as of a few days ago, and I only have one warehouse that we are in right now in Florida, and it's Jacksonville, and that's not one of the locations that is being closed in the Florida area. So guys, if you want to know if you're being affected by this warehouse closure, if you have warehouses in Florida that you have inventory in, or sometimes things happen at Amazon warehouses around the US. Like, do you remember how there was one warehouse that burned down? I think it was in Illinois or somewhere like that. And you're wondering, hey, did I have any inventory there? Well, make sure you're using the inventory heat maps so you can see everywhere where your products are being stored in the USA. Next article is again going to Seller Central, or not Seller Central, but it's not actually an article. It's something that Destiny has been seeing, and she gave me a link. Destiny from Better AMS, and it's now video ads are being seen at the top of search, or like almost like where the sponsored brand ad used to be. So take a look here for those watching on YouTube. Here, this is a search for collagen gummies, and there is actually a video ad that is happening here. Let me refresh my screen here, see if it'll come up. But yeah, here's a video ad that is showing, all right, for collagen peptides. And whoa, what do you know? They're actually showing a video of them putting it in coffee, and that's kind of like an inside joke here at Helium 10. You guys remember about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, I started making videos for Helium 10. One of the industries I would call out is the collagen peptides industry. And I'm like, look at all these collagen peptides like vital proteins. And all of the reviews say that people are putting it in their coffee, and they don't have any images or any copy talking about it. And somehow, 2 years later, after I kept saying that all the time, now all of a sudden vital proteins in these other companies are all showing images, and now video even putting it in coffee. But that's a side point. The interesting thing is the placement of these videos, right? Like, I've never seen before this week where if you type in something in Amazon, it shows up at the top, and it's still not across the board. Like, if you type in collagen peptides, you won't see this. If you type in coffin shelf, it's not the top. But this will be interesting. Will videos now maybe take the place of the regular sponsored brand headlines on some keywords? Sponsored video has been working for a lot of people already. My personal opinion is that I think placement at the top will make some of these sponsored brand video ads even more effective due to the placement. So what do you guys think about that? And are you seeing on any of your keywords or your videos the these video ads coming up at the top of the screen instead of the middle of the screen? Very interesting. Another article that came out from Amazon Advertising is entitled Gross and Invalid Traffic Report, now available in Amazon Ads. So gross here doesn't mean like, ew, that's disgusting, these clicks. No, there's two different things here. The gross, it means it's like the gross impressions. All right, so you're going to be able to see your gross impressions, but then from there, you're going to see a breakdown of what your invalid impression rate are. And then you'll also see things like gross clicks, but then invalid clicks and invalid click rate metrics. Now, Amazon wants to let sellers know that, hey, they're helping protect advertiser spend from invalid traffic, all right? And they are not counting this illegitimate traffic. So I know a lot of sellers before have been worried, like, hey, I think my competitor is just like giving me a lot of fake clicks, or something weird is happening. Am I actually having to pay for that? And no, like, here's something interesting. If you look into Amazon's documentation, they say Amazon ads will only bill you for valid events, while the bulk of the invalidation happens in real time with no impact on your budget. For the residual invalidation, your budget is adjusted automatically. You may observe some changes in campaign metrics and invalid traffic metrics after the event. So this is just another one of those reasons why we, whether you're using Adtomic or you are looking in Seller Central, it's sometimes best not to be looking at what's happening in PPC today or yesterday or sometimes even 2 days ago, but wait till things level out a few days, because you might see some clicks and impressions go off of the what you pay for, off of the report of what you pay for, because they might be invalid, like it says here. All right, so that's it for the news this week. Let's keep it moving now with our next segment. And right after this, we're going to have a really cool pro training tip from Carrie about how to analyze images. But first, we don't just interview people here on the show that are, service providers or other software companies or things like that, but we love, having quick interviews to meet all of you guys out there. So here is Lem, and he's interviewing a member of our Serious Sellers Club. Let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
Hello, everyone. And this is where we're going to be giving an interview with Craig Crowhurst right here from the Serious Sellers Club. Just as a reminder, the Serious Sellers Club is for anybody who's selling on Amazon and is with Helium 10, selling above 6 figures on Amazon. It's a really exclusive, but also a really fun club to be a part of. And here we have Craig. Craig, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good to be here.
Awesome. We're glad to have you. I know you're coming all the way across the pond from near 30 miles north, you said, of London, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm a keen golfer, which this lifestyle of being able to work when I want really fits in. And I'm also a granddad of 3 grandchildren. So through the Amazon business, it enabled me to give up my full-time job 2 years ago, focus on this, and has allowed me the freedom to spend more time with my grandkids, more time on the golf course.
So, all right, tell us a little bit about how you heard about Helium 10 in the first place.
Yeah, so I think, I sort of started life on eBay. I found, you'll see the theme of golf running through me. I found a product on Facebook that I bought the product, and then while I was still working, I thought this could be a nice little sideline. And I basically approached the guy, said, "Are you selling them in the UK?" He wasn't. So I bought a few, started selling them, thought there was a business there, but I didn't know how it would work. And then I got some training and then started this model of working with brands that are already selling on Amazon and bringing them over here. I sort of dabbled a little bit with private label, but didn't quite suit me. And then from that, I think my first exposure to Helium 10 would have been, maybe like many other people, would be the Chrome extension. So where I was researching products and trying to find out, what was selling and what the competition was. And I think that's what I used pretty predominantly, in the early days. And it's only the last year or so where I think my level of skill and knowledge has really accelerated, that I've started to, do a lot more with keywords and Cerebro and Black Box and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about your experience of being a part of Serious Sellers Club and how that's helped you.
Yeah, it's been really good because, first of all, when you get that email from you saying, you've been invited to join it, you sort of feel, oh, wow, I've really achieved something here, So it was quite a nice invitation to get. Excuse me. And so I think my experience has been, I'm just knocked out. I do about £300,000 a year at the moment in selling. But you sit and talk and listen to some of the people in the Serious Sellers Club that are doing $3 million, $7 million, $10 million, and you think, wow. And it's really cool being able to listen to what they do and how they do it. So to me, it's been really good to learn. The biggest opportunity and the biggest benefit has been through partnering.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that you're able to really take advantage of almost like the synergy of like networking with other people. Of course, like we really try to enable that with the Serious Sellers Club, but also like just the general openness of helping. Are there any tips that you have for Amazon sellers out there looking to either they're looking to get started or they're pretty experienced? Any tips that they could execute on?
Yeah, I'm very much a numbers person. I'm not an accountant by any means, but I'm very much. I think you need to make sure you stick on top of numbers, whether it's the cash flow element of your business, the sales, your profit, and the sort of tools that you can get. You got them within Helium 10, but there are other tools out there, or even if you're just doing it on a spreadsheet to start off with. Now, I think if you're small and you've got control and you understand your numbers and you've got your finger on the pulse, as you grow, that can only put you in a good standing. Because if you grow too quickly and suddenly you don't know what products are making profit, or how much I'm spending on PPC, or what's the cost of this, what's the cost of that.
Awesome, Craig. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and have a good time for us this week.
Perfect. Thanks, Lem. Thanks, everyone.
All right. We'll see you in the next one.
All right. Thank you so much, Lem, for that interview. If you guys are interested in being on the show, you're in the Serious Sellers Club or you're in the Helium 10 members, make sure to let us know, and we'll see if we can go ahead and interview you. Now, Carrie is going to be on here with a cool tip, and this is something that I've been teaching you guys how to do for years, thanks to Tomer, about analyzing images of your competitors to look for different themes. But now there's actually a way to do that with kind of like one click inside of Listing Analyzer. Carrie, why don't you go ahead and show us how to do that?
Hey everyone, today I want to talk about a new tool feature that many of you might not know about, but I think it's one of the coolest new features to Helium 10. So it's called the Listing Analyzer is the actual tool. And what I want to show you in particular is the media comparison. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and show you how it's done. So basically what you need to do is you need to have your own ASIN ready to go, or you can have a bunch of other ASINs. You don't necessarily have to compare your own ASIN. Okay, so what I did in this particular example is right here I have our egg tray ASIN, and then I've chosen some competitors to compare against. Okay. Another way you could do this is you can actually go to run X-ray, and you can pull X-ray, and all you have to do is check off the ASINs that you want to do a listing media comparison with. So you could maybe check these off as up to 10, and you could either run Cerebro or run Listing Analyzer, which is what I'm going to show you right now. So if you were to hit that, it would take you to this screen and it would have it already filled out for you. So I wanted to compare exactly to our ASINs, so that's why I've put them in and copied them directly. If you wanted to just have the computer show you recommendations of different competitors, you could actually click on Get Competitors, and there's some great competitors you compare to here. But again, I already just chose some, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Run Analysis, and it's going to pull up a lot of really great sales information in the Listing Analyzer, and then my favorite is going to show you the media comparison. All right, so when the Listing Analyzer comes up, this is what you're going to see, and it's going to show you all this great sales data, sales overview. It's going to show you your review count and your price and all that great info. But what I really want to show you is our media comparison. So if you scroll down here, you can see yourself compared to your competitors and a lot of great data points here. But if you click on this button, media comparison, you can actually see your images compared to your competitors. And this is a great way to, see where you might have some holes in your listing. So this is our listing right here, and then here are some of our competitors. So you can see everyone has kind of, an angled shot of their actual wooden tray as the main image. It looks like, this one has some more lifestyle images. On ours, we have, what it's made out of and different ways you can utilize it. And I don't see this particular competitor doing that. Right here, we can see a lot of lifestyle images here. So they did show some different ways you could use this on this one, and the same with this one. So I think those are, the main similarities I see, but you could a lot of times come and see, okay, is there something missing? Is there an infographic I need to add? Is there a selling point that I'm missing? And what you can actually do is maybe even just, take a screenshot of this for the people who are doing photos for you. You can actually export this information in a PDF file. So it'll show you the PDF file like this, which is amazing because again, you can just literally download this and send it off to somebody if you wanted to show them what kind of photos that you wanted to do. So that is the Listing Analyzer media comparison. I think it's awesome, especially because images are so important for your listing conversion. So you want to make sure that you have all of the up-to-date photos and that you're staying up to date with the competition and beating them in every way possible.
All right, no stranger to the show is Burak from Forsket. He works for a shipping company, a freight forwarding company that, I've used for Project X and other projects, and we've had him on the podcast before. But now you can see his face. He is inside of our Freedom Ticket training program, and Shivali has some information on this new segments that we have in Freedom Ticket.
Hi there, Shivali here. We're always updating our modules inside of Freedom Ticket, and that's why for this week's Weekly Buzz, I want to show you a snippet from inside of Module 6, which is all things freight and logistics. In the coming clip, hear Burak, CEO of Forsket, talk to you about inventory limits and how you can improve your account's Inventory Performance Index score.
Amazon storage limits are measured in cubic feet and represents the total amount of inventory you can store in the fulfillment centers. These inventory storage limits are applied to manage fulfillment center storage space better. In this way, the shipment of the products will be faster and buyers will be receiving them quickly, as well as the Amazon check-in process speeding up. As all of you remember, within 2021, the Amazon check-in process took almost more than a month, and it was causing a lot of delays with the carriers as well as UPS, and more important, the buyers cannot receive the products, and that caused a lot of returns, as well as that caused a lot of customer complaints, which they couldn't receive their products within the prime delivery time. Amazon regularly evaluates sellers. A monitor appears in a seller's account if they have storage limits. The monitor's green, yellow, and red lights indicate available storage. Green indicator means inventory levels are at 75% or less. Yellow indicators, inventory levels are between 76% to 90% of the limit. Red indicators means storage is reaching capacity, inventory levels are at 91% or more. So what is Amazon FBA storage inventory limits criteria? Storage limits depend on several factors. These limits are generally measured in cubic feet, and limitations get set for each storage type. Amazon may or may not impose limits on professional selling accounts. Two criteria generally influences this decision. Active account that maintain the required inventory performance index or API score, new sellers that sign up for the program less than 26 weeks prior, or new sellers without enough sales to generate on API. Inventory performance index. The inventory performance index determines the capacity of sellers to manage their inventory. It is a score given by Amazon, can be anywhere between 0 to 1000. The IPI for storage limits is 450. According to Amazon's policy, there are three factors that affect an account API score: reducing excess inventory, increasing sales, and ensuring all the inventories are viable. The most important question is here, how can I improve my score, and how can I send in unlimited storage? Again, it's really important to understand Amazon is increasing their 4-quarter prices almost 3 times. So this is why you need to understand, even if you can ship everything to the Amazon fulfillment centers, you should be definitely checking out how much is Amazon is charging per month for storage. You should be comparing that with the 3PL, where I will be explaining in the next video. How to improve your Amazon API score? Avoid overstock. The direct means avoiding having excess inventory. Often, overstocking can be due to poor inventory management, leading too much or the wrong type of stock that sits in the warehouse. Improve sell-through rates. Obviously, Amazon wants sellers to have high sell-through rates because it means more stocks are leaving their warehouses faster. The ideal rate depends on the several factors, like the industry you're in and type of products you sell. Popular items. Amazon will be losing your ranking, which means you'll be losing the sales. If Amazon see you're losing sales, it means that they're not going to let you send more inventory in. This way you're going to lose both ranking, sales and profit, more importantly your limits. So I highly recommend you to check your stock rate and make sure that you plan your inventory accordingly. Fixed stranded inventory. This is one of the most important things that you should be paying attention. Fixed stranded inventory means that the stock, it's either damaged, returned, unsellable items. What you can do for this is you can actually either destroy it, do a return, or ask Amazon to sell on behalf of you with a very low rate. However, whatever you do, do not let the stranded inventory sit in the Amazon fulfillment centers, because it means that dead stock, dead inventory, and Amazon hates that.
Now, the full episode also covers packing requirements, while some of the other newer clips talk about cross-border shipments, international shipping step by step, and what you might need to know about a 3PL, alongside a handful of other things. But you won't know until you check it out for yourself. So be sure to head over to Freedom Ticket and watch those new episodes.
All right. Thank you, Shivali, for that clip. And Burak, too. Don't forget, guys, if you have a starter or above plan in Helium 10, you have full access to the entire Freedom Ticket. Make sure to go back right now into Freedom Ticket, go to week 6, and check out all of those new modules from Burak to see what's the latest on shipping and logistics for 2022, especially for those of you just getting started on Amazon. All right, did you guys know that there are actually clips, some of the best clips from the Serious Sellers podcast we actually put on Instagram? So what I want everybody to do now is go ahead and follow Serious Sellers podcast on Instagram. All right, it's just type that in, no spaces, Serious Sellers podcast on Instagram. What we do is we take clips of all of our podcast episodes. You know, sometimes it's a 30-second tip, sometimes it's a quick hitting tip. They're all like 1 minute or less. It's a great way. It's a great place to subscribe. So Serious Sellers podcast on Instagram. And I also wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'm going to be doing a kind of like Asia tour soon in a few weeks, and I want to meet you guys who are local. So first place I'll be going is Amazon Singapore. I'll be actually speaking at an Amazon event. I believe it's free. It's going to be at Marina Bay Sands there in Singapore. So if you guys want to join that one, make sure to go to h10.me/sing, h10.me/sing. Right after that, I'm going to be traveling to Vietnam and another Amazon event I'll be speaking at and in person. Would love to meet you guys there as well. The registration there is h10.me/Vietnam, h10.me/Vietnam. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a vacation, but I would love to meet you Amazon sellers who are local to either Korea or Japan. I'll be there for about a week each in those countries, and it would be great to meet you guys there. I have a thread going right now in the Helium 10 members Facebook group. Just type in like Korea, Japan, or something like that, and you'll see the thread. Please reply there. If you're in one of those countries, we're going to be doing some informal Helium 10 meetups, and I would love to meet you guys in person there. All right, guys, that's it for this week on What's Buzzin'. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.